The season is here. The Lions are playing. And you know what we got to do before we get our first game in? It's prediction time. All right. So we wanted to get Chris. We were talking, and it's like, man, who's going to have the most receiving yards? Who's going to be the best player on this team? Who's the offensive MVP? Who's the defensive MVP? And we were talking about it and kind of having fun. And we're like, well, let's talk about it on the show.
Mhm.
So, all right. So here we are. I'm going to start firing stuff at you, and I want you to give me who you think is going to fit in each of these categories. You don't get to study. You don't get to pull up web pages. You just got to give me your straight answer. And then the people will either agree with you or make fun of you. Sound good?
Mhm. Ready.
Don't make fun of them. All right. First one, we're going to give you an easy one. Okay, it's not easy. PFF. We like PFF, right? Who will get the highest PFF grade on the team this season?
Oh my goodness. I think there
No, I'm
what I
starting
want to
hard.
do, because the other one is more, the other ones I know kind of what it's coming, and you can't really give like O lineman some love. I'm going to give an O lineman some love. I
You
think
should.
Panay Sewell is just a guy we we've not talked about enough because there's a lot of new shiny pieces, but it's like how
Yeah.
good this guy was going from left tackle to right tackle and just played every play. And I mean, the guy was just rock solid. I
Mhm.
gotta believe he's going to improve dramatically, even from his first to his second year. So he's a guy that I think will finish with the highest PFF ranking.
Nice. I'm also going offensive lineman, but I'm going Frank. I'm going Frank Ragnow as the highest
Love it.
PFF rated guy. And the only reason for that is that Panay Sewell, I was going to do Sewell because he's going to have the highest run grade
Mm.
average, but Ragnow will have a good combo, run and pass. And if Panay Sewell can become a dominant pass protector as well, oh yeah, let's look
Mhm.
out.
That's
All right,
awesome.
now let's get into more some of the traditional stats. Who is going to have the most receiving yards for the Detroit Lions this year? You could go a few different ways with this one.
Yeah, this is a good one. Last year it's like, I don't know. This year it's like, okay. I
Last year, it's like Hawkinson.
Yeah, it's, I think I think St. Brown's gonna have the most receiving yards, and I think
Okay.
it's because when push comes to shove, Goff's gonna be really looking for him, gonna build a trust with him, and he's just gonna
Okay.
be a guy that's gonna get more targets than the bigger guys going down. They're gonna be longer passes, hopefully, but I think
Mhm.
St. Brown just over time is gonna have more yards than anybody on the team at the end of the year.
So I think it's obvious to say for you that he will have the most receptions as well.
Yes.
Completely agree. Completely agree. That's why he's on my fantasy team. And I think you'll have the most receptions. I think he will have the most receiving yards. I think he will have the most touchdowns. Like, I know all this sounds crazy coming from one guy. It's just he seems to be the favorite for each. So let's make him the favorite for all.
Absolutely, and
And I
as
mean,
yep, I'm like, come to think of it, yeah, he's gonna have, yeah, yards, catches, and touchdowns because I think just across the middle and just gonna be a guy that's gonna be open. And Goff's like, I'm not screwing around. If he's open, then I'm not gonna go hold the ball and try to go deep as much. Where last year it was just like he's just trying to find anybody.
yeah,
It's just gonna be a lot more. He's open. Just throw it to
yeah.
him.
He's open. Throw it to him because people are paying attention to Hawkinson and
Mm.
Chark and Williams when he gets back. All right. So all right, freebie. I wasn't going to ask you this question. Most total yards from scrimmage.
Oh wow. Um,
Got to be
boy,
quick.
well, I don't know. I was thinking,
Most total yards.
S- Swift. I
Yeah,
don't
say
like.
it. Just say it.
I know. I don't want to say it because he's gonna get hurt in game 2, and I'm gonna be like, son
don't
of a.
don't do that. Don't
Yeah.
put
So
that
I'll stop
on.
talking
Don't put
Swift.
that on him.
What do you
All
think?
right. So yeah, I agree. It's Swift. All right. Final. Yeah, kind of the final offensive category. We're gonna have to do MVPs at the end. Stick around for that. But final category, most touchdowns.
So I do think St. Brown will
Do
have the
you?
most touchdowns. Yep.
Okay. Do you think Williams will steal some of Swift's touchdowns by the goal line,
Yeah.
or
Good point. I do think exactly. And I wasn't even thinking of this. You're giving me ideas as we're going here. But yeah, Swift, he's going to have to score from further out, which he can absolutely do. But I think, yeah, anytime you're inside, Williams is going to sneak away with 5 or 6 touchdowns, hopefully, that Swift would have had or whatever. So I think
yeah,
St. Brown again.
some tutties? All right. All right. Let's move it over to the defensive side. Who do you believe is going to have the most sacks on this
Ooh,
team? I
I
have something to
think,
say about this later too.
yeah, I'll let you. I think, I
No,
mean,
you take your
Charles
time.
Harris, I just think is improving. We've seen that he's on a good trajectory. You've added now a great counterpiece that's on the other side that you can't just. So it's just, I think Charles Harris is enthused by having, you see it in Hard Knocks, like
Mhm.
seeing he's got Hutchinson. It just kind of, you're just more fired up knowing you've got another guy getting meet you at the quarterback type of thing. So I think Charles Harris, and to your point about the predictions, I think you did a prediction on this, man. I don't see why you can't get 10 sacks. Like, let's
Yeah.
go, and that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think 12 or 13 isn't out of reach. I know that sounds nuts. He gets 7.5, where he played sparingly in the beginning of the year last year, and he was the guy that the defenses were completely focused on.
Oh,
I don't want to agree with you, but that's who I was going to say was
uh,
Harris. I think who would you rather double team, Harris or Hutch? I think people are going to double team Hutch.
yeah,
Like I think that's the double team. So I think more often than not, Harris is going to be one on one, and that's something that he is going to win. I think he's going to lead this team in sacks. I really, really
that'd be
do.
awesome. Absolutely.
That would be awesome. It's that's great because Hutchinson's going to go out there and do his thing. But it's similar to at Michigan. Now Hutch ended up leading that team in sacks as well, but man, he made Ojabo look good on the other
Oh
side,
man,
didn't
yep,
he?
that's awesome.
He really did.
Can't wait to
Okay.
see it.
Most sacks, we got that. This is a tricky one. This is a tricky one. Most interceptions.
Oh, going OREA, right?
I mean, he
Um,
did it like walking away last year. I mean, he
yeah,
was
and but I think his interceptions will be lower, but I think they'll be more spread out throughout the team. So it was just like him, and he had whatever, however many he had, 6 or
like three
something.
or four or
Oh
something you
yeah,
think he'll have
yeah,
this year.
you're right. It
He had
was pretty
six
low.
last year.
Yeah,
No, he had six last year. You're right.
yeah.
But like, do you think it'll just be like three or four this year
Exactly.
as the
I think
team
it'll be
lead?
3 or 4. I think
Mhm.
Akuda 2. I think it'll be spread out, and we'll be like, okay, we had some interceptions, but I just think it's another. It's just going to be tough, and but I think ORI leads the team.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go Okuda.
Oh, let's go Akuda. What if
I thought
he's
about getting
good, man?
I thought about getting weird there for a second and going Tracy Walker, even though that's not something he's traditionally done well. But like
Mhm.
having the full reins, being the full leader of that secondary, I'm like, does he put together one of those kind of magical Lions safety years, like a Glover Quinn, or
Oh,
or something like that, where it's like, yeah, that's a really good year, and he's gonna get like 4 or 5. But I'm gonna go with Okuda, and I'm gonna go with 4. I don't think it's a lot. I think it's the exact same as what you were saying. So
yep.
I think it's the same as what you were saying. I really do. But that's where I'm at for most interceptions. Okay, so let's end it with this. We have an offense and defensive MVP. You let me know. You want to go defense first or offense?
Let's go offense.
All right. Who do you have as your offensive MVP this season?
I think I think we'll get to the end of the year and it's the most important position on the field. And I think Goff will improve that much and just be kind of old Goffy, where he's out there, he's slinging it. The guy is not terrible. And I'm gonna go Jared Goff.
You're going Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm. Shock the world.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, that's not going to be my pick anymore because we agree too much. I
Oh.
was going to go with Goff. All right. Well, now who's my MVP? DeAndre Swift stays healthy.
Mm.
He gets behind that beast of an offensive line, which by the way is already injured up the wazoo. And because of course they are. So I'm gonna say Swift is gonna play in 16 games. He's gonna be healthy for 15 of them, and he is gonna put together some serious yardage. So I'm gonna go Swift, but only because I don't know who I want to go with. I don't
Yeah.
know. This
I,
is silly. I want to
I
go with Goff.
understand.
I think it's Goff. I really do. And we're going to eat some serious crow on that if he sucks. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Um
Defensive.
defensive MVP.
Yeah.
Can we disagree on this one at least, please?
I'm gonna go defensive MVP. Shock the world. You gave it to me because I didn't plan for this, but I'm gonna go Tracy Walker. Just having a great season, interceptions left and right. The guy's leading. He's just creating turnovers, and he's our best player on defense at the end of the year.
Okay. I'm going to go not because of pure numbers standpoint. I'm going to go Hutchinson. I think
Mm.
he could lead the team in tackle for losses, even though that's hard to do from his position. I think that he's going to create a lot of attention that has to be brought his way. And so, because of that, the defense is as a whole better. It improves the secondary. And I think you're right. I think Tracy Walker has a much better year. And I think like you can make the argument for him. But when you look down at it, it's like, yeah, because Hutch and Harris were getting after the quarterback because they were making life miserable for offensive tackles. So I'm going to go with a rookie as the defensive MVP, which tells you where our defense might be.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
And I think we've been saying this all along. It tells you two things. It tells you Hutch is really, really good. And I
mhm.
mean, he just really is. You just added I don't know, a top 15 D end right into your defense. I mean, that's great. But
Yeah.
yeah, it does show that our defense as a whole, we just don't have the players yet. And that'll be another year. But I think he's that good where we're going to be a lot better than we were last year.
Yeah. And I'm going to say they're young. It's a favorable schedule early on. So it could create a good season. It really could.
It
So,
could. That's
anyways,
it,
that's a
man.
different video at a different time.
Yep.
So, my friend, thank you so much for all the early season predictions. I am terrified to do episodes like this because I'm thinking like, oh man, you could sound really dumb. And
Yep.
there's so many things that can happen in a football season. But just wanted to see it. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it out there. Hit that subscribe button below. And hey, hit a like, throw in a comment. Would love to see it. See you on the next one.